House prosecutors in the impeachment trial of Vice President Sara Duterte are asking the Senate to require her to submit an official answer to the articles of impeachment. House prosecution panel members, House Minority Leader Marcelino Libanan and one Rider Party List Representative Ramon Rodrigo Gutierrez filed the entry-with motion to issue summons before the Senate on Tuesday, March 25. The motion seeks to have Vice President Duterte respond to the impeachment charges. The panel cited Rule 7 of the Rules of Procedure on Impeachment Trials dated March 23, 2011. This rule states that a writ of summons should be issued against the official impeached by the House. The rule also states that the official impeached by the House should file his or her answer to the articles of impeachment within a non-extendable period of 10 days from the receipt of writ of summons. According to the prosecution team, the impeachment rules are still applicable since there was a provision stating that it will be enforced until it is amended or repealed. Vice President Duterte was impeached by the House last February 5 after more than 200 lawmakers filed and verified a fourth impeachment complaint. The complaint hinged on several issues such as the confidential funds, threats to ranking officials including President Bongbong Marcos, and conduct unbecoming of a vice president. Senate President Cheese Escudero previously said that the impeachment trial will start by July 30 with a new set of lawmakers after the 2025 midterm elections sitting as senator judges. Vice President Duterte is currently at The Hague, Netherlands to attend to her father, former President Rodrigo Duterte, who is currently facing charges of crimes against humanity before the International Criminal Court. The palace says fake news against the first family began spreading when President Bongbong Marcos and Vice President Sara Duterte had a rift. In a briefing on Tuesday, March 25, Presidential Communications Office Undersecretary Claire Castro was asked if they have been receiving reports that President Marcos and his family are now the subject of false information. Castro says false information surfaced against the Marcos family since the fallout of Uniteam. President Marcos and Vice President Duterte were running mates in the 2022 elections under the Uniteam.
Ever since, tinatarget na sila ng fake news. Hindi to bago. Simula nang hindi naging maayos ang pagtingin ni VP Sara sa pamilya Marcos, nag-start na po ang fake news.
Citing a study by a journalist, Castro says there is a country with a network that propagates negative news and misinformation against the president and favoring the vice president. However, Castro points out that she is not specifically accusing Duterte of propagating misinformation against the first family. Moreover, Castro also says that President Marcos himself feels slightly affected by the current state of social media in the country as circulation of deceptive information remains rampant.
In a way, he is slightly affected. So that's why they asked the PCO to do its job to counter fake news. Not only for himself, but for the country.
Senator Bato Dela Rosa vows not to be caught by the International Criminal Court, saying he would only allow himself to be arrested if ordered by a local court. Like former President Rodrigo Duterte, De La Rosa is also charged with crimes against humanity at the ICC in connection with the previous administration's war on drugs. De La Rosa served as Duterte's first Philippine National Police Chief during his administration. Former President Duterte was arrested on March 11 under an arrest warrant issued by the ICC. The arrest warrant was enforced by the International Criminal Police Organization with the help of local authorities. In a phone interview on Tuesday, March 25, De La Rosa says he can only be arrested if the warrant of arrest presented to him is issued by a local court.
Kung anong instance na pwede ako magpa-aresto. Kung ang hawak nila na warrant of arrest ay issued by local authority, yan pwede ako magpa-aresto. Pero kung ang hawak nila na warrant of arrest ay galing sa illegal, pwede ako magpa-aresto.
When asked if that means he would not allow ICC to arrest him, De La Rosa answered in the affirmative.
Eh, talaga, kung maipit ako, maresto nila ako. Pero kung hindi na ako maipit, hindi na ako maresto.
Senator De La Rosa then says he would only surrender if he had no other choice and if he's completely cornered. He says one could avoid being cornered and arrested by authorities if he won't be stupid. In the same phone interview, Dela Rosa was asked if he intends to hide in the mountains, but he denies any such plans. He also says that hiding in the alleged secret bunker of the religious group Kingdom of Jesus Christ in Davao City could be part of his strategy. Senator Dela Rosa previously announced that he would seek the protection from the Senate once an arrest warrant is issued against him. But he also later disclosed the idea of going into hiding as one of his options. Nevertheless, the senator assured everyone he would not leave the Philippines amid talks of his possible arrest by the ICC. Senator Bato Dela Rosa discloses that his security details were recalled by the Philippine National Police days after the arrest of former President Rodrigo Duterte. In a phone interview on Tuesday, March 25, Dela Rosa says he only knew of the matter upon his arrival in Davao on March 24.
Itong pag-uwi ko dito sa Davao, wala na ang security. Hindi na pinapreport na sa unit nila. Hindi ko alam kung kailan sila pinareport dahil nag-standby ba lang sila dito. Hindi ko alam kasi nag-iikot ako.
But
ayun, pagdating ko dito, wala na sila. Dahil pinareport na sila.
Dela Rosa explains that he has two sets of securities, one in Davao and another set in Manila. According to Dela Rosa, two of his security personnel in Davao was recalled. Dela Rosa also posted on his Facebook account on Tuesday saying that after his security details were recalled by PNP, retired cops and soldiers volunteered as his security replacements. Amid the removal of his security, the senator does not see this development as an attack against him, insisting that the PNP is only being careful.
Wala lang, okay lang. Normal naman yan. They can be there and they cannot be there. Gano'n lang yan. Yung mga commander din ng police, nag-iingat din yan. Naintindihan ko sila. Hindi ako nila ginigipit. Nag-iiwas lang rin sila, baka mamaya magka-problema sila. So, naintindihan ko, hindi sila kasama sa paggigipit.
But the PNP denies the claims of Dela Rosa. Citing the PNP Police Security and Protection Group, the PNP Public Information Office on Tuesday says that Dela Rosa's statements on the recall of his security details is fake news. When asked about the PNP statement, Dela Rosa says,
Tanungin nila yung mga tao. Tanungin nila yung tao nila na dineploy sa akin.
Like former President Rodrigo Duterte, Dela Rosa is facing charges of crimes against humanity for the role he played at the time of Duterte's drug war. Dela Rosa was Duterte's first PNP chief during his administration. ICC Assistant to Counsel Attorney Cristina Conte earlier told INQUIRER.net that after Duterte, Dela Rosa and retired Police Chief Oscar Albayalde could be the next to receive arrest warrants from the ICC. The House of Representatives has given Davao City 1st District Representative Paolo Duterte travel clearance for his trip to multiple countries. Sources shared photos of the travel clearance with reporters on Tuesday, March 25. The travel clearance was issued by House Secretary General Reginald Velasco. The clearance covers Duterte's travels from March 20 to May 10, 2025. Based on the travel clearance, Duterte was granted permission to go to different countries, including Asian countries such as Hong Kong, China, Malaysia, Indonesia, South Korea, Japan, Vietnam, Cambodia, and Singapore. Duterte was also permitted to travel to the United States of America, Australia, United Kingdom of Great Britain, and Northern Ireland, Germany, France, Belgium, Italy, and in the Netherlands. A House official who requested anonymity confirmed the authenticity of the travel clearance. Last March 12, Velasco's office also gave a travel authority to Duterte for him to fly off to the Netherlands and Japan from March 12 to 15. This comes after Paolo Duterte's father, former President Rodrigo Duterte, was arrested on March 11. The arrest was issued by the International Criminal Court, where he is facing his alleged crimes against humanity during his administration's war against drugs. The former president is now detained at The Hague, Netherlands, where the ICC headquarters is located. Representative Paolo Duterte's sister, Vice President Sara Duterte, is currently at The Hague. The Philippine Navy says Beijing's reiteration of its 10-line claim over the South China Sea is nothing but a joke. In a press conference on Tuesday, March 25, a Navy spokesperson for the West Philippine Sea, Rear Admiral Roy Vincent Trinidad, says Beijing's claim over the South China Sea is merely for entertainment purposes. Trinidad adds that this claim has no legal basis and is beyond normal imagination. Trinidad also says that spreading this type of information could be targeted to anyone, including China's local community, the Filipino population, and international audiences. According to Trinidad, the country has a lot of international jurisprudence that would support the stand of the Philippines in its jurisdiction over the waters. On February 28, 2025, the National Historical Commission of the Philippines denounced the false claim circulating on Chinese social media Red Note that the island of Palawan once belonged to China. According to the Post, Palawan was once a Chinese territory and China had governed it for about a millennium. The Post also stated that the Philippines should return Palawan to China, claiming that its original name was Zhenghe Island after the famous 14th century Chinese explorer. According to Trinidad, pronouncements of such claims by a foreign power should be taken with a grain of salt. Trinidad maintains that Palawan is part of the Philippines archipelago. Beijing asserts sovereignty in almost the entire South China Sea, including most of the West Philippine Sea, as it continues to reject the 2016 arbitral ruling that effectively dismissed its claims and ruled in favor of Manila. And these are the stories you need to know today. I'm Neil Mercado. Follow INQUIRER.net on Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net. Good evening.